From Concord University in Athens, West Virginia, this is Mountain Lion News.
Hello and welcome back to Mountain Lion News. I'm Erica Garnes, and today I'm sitting down and talking with Dr. Kendra Bogus, the president of Concord University. First of all, let me go ahead and say thank you for being with me today.
It's very good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, well, we have a lot of issues that I want to talk about today, and the first of all is what are your thoughts on the new legislative bill that's going around about the concealed carry on campus? As I know, SGA at Concord University recently voted against concealed carry on campus.
Well, I guess I have a lot of respect for the Student Government Association for the stance that they took. They were very careful because we realize in this part of the country, in this part of the state, there are a lot of very responsible gun owners, and I want to make sure that people don't think I'm against guns. I have a gun myself, but I would never carry it onto campus. And I think it's incredibly dangerous to have no licensing requirements here in the state and to have people be able to carry anywhere. There is not really a filter on this bill unless you're in a venue that has 5,000 people. So if a student is angry, if a faculty member or a staff member is troubled, they can carry a gun on campus anywhere. They can be in a classroom, in a faculty office. It's just very concerning. And I understand the argument that you want to be able to protect yourself anywhere and the Second Amendment concerns, but there's a lot more at stake here. It's kind of like having a very big house and letting people come in and have a gun, and if they have a gun and you don't know they have a gun, what might happen if they drop the gun and somebody is harmed. I also think there's a huge concern here as relates to cost. We would definitely have to have places where we had metal detectors, and those are expensive. Keeping track of who's licensed to have a gun, we'd have to have somebody that kept track of that. There's a lot of concerns with that, and I just think it doesn't make for a less dangerous campus. I think it becomes more dangerous when people are able to carry.
I hear there are two big events coming up, one of them being the President's Ball.
Yes, the President's Ball it's a new initiative that, frankly, one of our new people in advancement, a gentleman named Blake Farmer, he was trying to figure out a way that we could help students with scholarships and finding ways to raise more funds. We already have dinners in Roanoke and Beckley and Charleston almost annually, and so he wondered why it was that we didn't have anything in this area. So he's actually been going out into the local business community and selling tables and getting people fired up. He's done a lot of marketing and is just really, really excited. The beneficiaries of the funds that are raised will be our students. So we'll have some gap funds for scholarships and other scholarship funding that will come out of this, which will be a very good thing.
That's always a good thing. I mean, people around here, they want to come so badly, and they work so hard for the other scholarships just so they can attend. And speaking of the scholarships, weren't we ranked on a list for one of the highest in giving out scholarships?
We absolutely were. There's a group called the Student Loan Report, and we were number 49 in the nation on the generosity of our scholarship giving. So it's a very good thing. Dr. Sarah Beasley, who is our Director of Retention here, has been tracking the students who are given scholarships, and those who are getting like the GAP scholarship, 100% of them are retained. So, there are some really difficult stories when students come to us at the end of a semester and they say, I can't be here because I need $500. Well, we're able now to help them. And we have many more students who come and need that help than we have money to help them. So this is just one more effort in a way to kind of have a little bit of fun and also help students. So it's a good thing.
I think that's just fantastic because education is the most important thing when it comes to Concord University, and they want to work with the students. Now, what is the final event that's coming up? I think on the 28th, isn't it?
That's the Founders Day.
Founders Day.
Yeah, every school has to have traditions. We want to remember the people who were here before us because none of us built this place and none of us started all of the initiatives, but We want to honor the people who were so far-sighted years and years ago, 146 years ago. And if you think about it, there really probably wasn't much more here than a few houses, and they decided that they wanted to have a school. And it wasn't necessarily a university, but it was a normal school to teach teachers so that there would be teachers in the local area to help their kids to get an education. So they valued it that much. And if you've ever had a chance to look at the history of Concord, the first building burned down. They didn't have heat in the building. They had to go outside to use the rest of the facilities. And I mean, it's a story about people coming back and rebuilding again and again. And so we want to always remember that there's a reason that we're here. And to me, that's a very noble reason from the very beginning that we are here to serve students in Southern West Virginia. 84% of the students here at Concord are from Southern West Virginia, and we're very proud that we're able to be here and to help to educate them, lead them to the next chapter in their life.
I hope so. You know, it's that resilience and that you just want to keep going, and I think that's one of my favorite things about West Virginia and the people who come here is they just have that spirit in them. But thank you again for sitting down and talking with me, and I really enjoyed our conversations. And so now we're going to turn it back to Kiana Johnson for Campus Connection.
Welcome to Campus Connections, where you can get the scoop on what's going on around campus. Here are a few things to look into. The Concord University Band will be presenting their first concert of the semester on February 27th at 7 p.m. in the Alexander Fine Arts Building main auditorium. Concord University Beckley will be hosting the yearly regional RESA Social Studies on March 3rd from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Concord also will be teaming up with Bluefield State College and New River Community and Technical College to host a Social Studies Family Fun Day at the Irma Bird Higher Education Center on University Drive in Beaver. President Kendra Bogus invites you to celebrate Concord University's 146th anniversary at the 2018 President's Ball, Saturday, March 3rd, 3 to 6 p.m. for the dinner and 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the ball. Dinner and dance tickets are available online for purchase, and dance tickets will be sold at the door for $25. Concord University will host the annual career fair on Thursday, March 8th, 2018. The event will be held from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the ballroom of the Beasley Student Center. I'm Kiana Johnson, and thank you for watching Campus Connection. Back to you, Erica.
Thanks, Kiana. On Tuesday, March 13th, Concord University's cafeteria, along with members from SGA, sponsored a Mardi Gras-themed lunch, and the campus was jazzed during the preparations. Brass and bass, some hopping music you might have heard in the cafeteria Tuesday morning as SGA members worked in full swing. Members gathered early in the morning to fully deck out the cafeteria in Mardi Gras' usual pizzazz, including colorful beads, masks, and a familiar street signs found in Louisiana. Even cafeteria workers could be found dressed for the occasion as they served dishes like crab cakes, gumbo, and Mardi Gras-themed cupcakes. And students on campus are trying to get the band Thousand Foot Crutch, or TFK as fans know them, to visit Athens, West Virginia. Nathaniel George, one of the students rallying for the band to perform, asked for support in getting the band here.
Just having a band here and a big rock band would be really cool to have on campus. I think a lot of students would be interested in coming to see a band, and even if a lot of students haven't heard of them, which as far as I know a lot of students haven't, getting to hear new music is always good.
Along with Nathaniel George, Concord's Summer Smith and Caleb Zopp are involved in the project as well. The students have set up a GoFundMe page with a startup goal of $2,500. A set price of how much will cost to get TFK here has yet to be determined. The students are asking for donations of up to $15 a person to help cover costs of the band. The group of students are talking to several Christian groups on campus to gain support as well. They would like to get as many students involved as possible. The students have high hopes that getting TFK to perform would also open doors to other bands coming to Athens as well. Students who want to find out more about the band can go to their website www.thousandfootcrutch.com. Coming up after the break, we have some sports highlights with Lucas Berry and a throwback rom-com with Kiana Johnson. This and more when MLN returns.
The Concord men's basketball team continued its four-game homestand with a visit from Notre Dame College, beating the Falcons 95-86 at the Carter Center. Concord raced out to an early 23-12 lead with 8 minutes played. Notre Dame fought back though, going on a 19-7 run to take a 31-30 lead with just over 7 minutes left in the half. For the rest of the half, the two teams traded the lead 10 times, and Concord took the lead 43-42 with 23 seconds left in the half and took it into the break. In the second half, Notre Dame tied the game at 65 with just over 8 minutes to play. Concord then went on a run, scoring 12 of the next 16 points to take the lead for good, with the final score being Concord 95, Notre Dame 86. The Mountain Lions were led in scoring by junior guard Tommy Bolte, who shot 50% for the game and was honored pregame for going over the 1,000 career point mark in a loss to Fairmont State. Bolte was also named Division II National Player of the Week by the United States Basketball Writers Association for averaging 40 points per game in games against Fairmont State and Shepherd. Bolte is the second Concord player to earn this honor in the last month. Women's basketball player Riley Fitzwater was honored in January. Bolte was also named Co-Player of the Week by the Mountain East Conference, along with Taiwo Badmus of UVA-Wise. This is the third time this season Bolte has been named MEC Player of the Week. Concord closed out its homestand with a 63-60 win over Urbana at the Carter Center. CU found themselves down by a point with 2.5 minutes to play, but held Urbana scoreless for the rest of the game to beat the Blue Knights 63-60. Concord led the entire first half and for much of the second half before Urbana took the lead with just under 12 minutes to play and eventually extended its lead to as much as 6 before Concord came back. Tommy Bolte was the only player for CU to reach double figures in the game, scoring 34 points. Also in action for Concord this weekend was the softball team, who participated in the Snowbird Freeze-Out Tournament in Myrtle Beach. CU faced Malloy, St. Anselm, and Southern New Hampshire and Merrimack, losing the first 3 games and then beating the latter. The games marked the start of the season for the Mountain Lions after games against Tusculum in Tennessee were postponed due to weather. No makeup date has been set for those games. And now here's Kiana Johnson with Rolls and Move the Soul.
Welcome back to another segment of Roles That Move the Soul. I'm Kiana Johnson, and today we're going to be discussing a movie that celebrated its 15th anniversary this month, just in time for Valentine's Day, or actually 10 days late. This is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This movie is a classic rom-com that focuses on the two main characters, Andy Anderson, a magazine how-to girl wanting to branch out into harder news, and Benjamin Barry, an advertising executive also wanting to advance his career with a big campaign win. To do this, both of them stake their careers on a gamble. Andy promises to write the biggest article for a magazine on how to lose a guy in 10 days, while Ben bets that he can make any woman fall in love with him in 10 days. When the two meet, the gloves come off and the games begin on who can drive who crazy first. Unbeknownst to both parties, when they go away for the weekend to visit Ben's family, they are actually starting to fall in love with each other. This spells disaster, however, when they find out about each other's gamble. When the smoke clears, Andy has to quit her job and has left her home. And Ben has realized that trying to make it and fall in love with him has been the best days of his life. Well, will he be able to stop her before she leaves for good? With spectacular performances by Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey, and hilarious acting by co-stars Katherine Hahn, Michael Michelle, and Adam Goldberg, this is one date that you do not want to miss. That's all we have time for on this week's Roles That Move the Soul. Back to you, Erica.
Thanks, Kiana. And that is all for MLN This Week. I'm Erica Garnes, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.